on that. I can't wait to read what the people have to say about that.
They gonna,
you know, yeah. I think that, you know, it's gonna go both ways. I think obviously, but you know, I can't wait to see the reaction. We love, you know, the engagement of the people, and all we ask you to do is go ahead and just share the video if you enjoy it. Go ahead and always just hit the like button on whatever video you're watching this on. I'm gonna move over to this next story because it not really ties in, but talks about, you know, somebody we grew up, you know, pioneer, director. We found out, you know, a few minutes ago, John Singleton has died at the age of 51. Now, less than 2 weeks after him suffering a massive stroke, he has succumbed, you know, to the stroke. There was a lot of different rumors going around earlier yesterday that he already passed, but now we got the official confirmation of the news, man. And I was just kind of just looking through his movies, and I was just enamored, like, whoa, like I didn't know he did this and this and this, and you know, Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Baby Boy, and Higher Learning you was talking about, man. And sad, you know, to see somebody like this go, simply because, you know, what he meant. You know what I mean? When you talk about movies, you talk about an art form, and you know, he told his message through the movies, man. And you know, appreciative, you know, from being able to watch that. What's your thoughts, though, man, on John Singleton dying at just 51?
We lost a pioneer today, man. And when you start really reflecting on it, you'll see. Yeah. Because as a lot of young Black males and females throughout the world, we remember our childhoods vividly. And I know one of my vivid childhood memories is sitting in that room watching Boys in the Hood with you as kids and learning how to curse. And then once we started getting into it and copying and mimicking what was going on, we had a snitch come in, tell our parents we got in trouble. But all that being aside, we got to watch how it was for our people in cities and areas that we weren't necessarily in and accustomed to. And and even though we grew up, we really truly grew up in the village, and we raised that our people raised us all together. We truly did. We were blessed in that situation, but a lot of us weren't. And we grew up in the Rodney Kings, and we grew up in the LA riots. And even though we didn't understand it, these movies that John Singleton was dropping, when you think about Boys in the Hood, even Poetic Justice to a degree. And then once it got followed up with the Menace to Societies, and he was a pioneer in all that shit, even though he may not have directed the Menace to Societies and the South Centrals and things like that. He birthed it. That gave us just a direct look into what was going on. And for the people that lived in it, for our brothers and sisters that lived in it, man, it just was like, wow, this man is telling our story in such an amazing way. And then when you talk about Higher Learning, when that came out, I mean, my God, 1995, young impressionable children getting to look at race firsthand, getting to see it first fucking hand, and looking at the devastation behind hatred. And it made you feel different, man. It made you feel different. And he was just a revolution. He was a revolutionist in that. Spike Lee, the same. And even though I don't feel like John Singleton gets the recognition as he should, man, did he do amazing movies. You talk about Higher Learning, Rosewood Shaft. He did Too Fast, Too Furious. He was in that series. He did Four Brothers. He did Empire, American Crime Story. He did the man endless, is endless, man. So we lost a pioneer today. We can be inspired by this because we've been losing a lot of pioneers in 2019. But the one thing that we can both say for the pioneers that we're losing so far is they're leaving impressions. And the one thing we were talking about before we went on air is, damn, like, this is just motivation to do movies. And I was talking about that Fresh Prince series, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. People are just using their creativity and taking it to another level. And this brother right here, John Singleton, salute to his condolences to his family, because you were a revolutionist, and you really inspired, and your energy is out here because now we're motivated to do I mean, what you left.
Definitely, man. And once again, you know, condolences to any member of the family, because a lot of times, you know, you never know who's watching you. You know what I mean? It could be a family member of somebody who knows somebody. So condolences. You know, we send our love for the platform and whatnot over to y'all, you know, in your time of bereavement. We want to move on here, man, on the Uncensored Truth podcast, man. We want to encourage everybody, if you're listening on YouTube, though, to go over to Spotify, iTunes, whatever you listen to, your music streaming platform, and type in Uncensored Truth podcast, and we're over there as well. Our full episodes are available on any one of those streaming platforms. Make sure you show us some love over there as well. And I said, man, you had a story you wanted to talk about, Prince.
Yes, man. I wanted to talk about Prince because his sister-in-law or stepsister, I'll figure that out. I got you.
Right.
She was talking about some financial situation they were dealing with. Now, Prince is not resting in peace while this is going on. Oh, hold on. Let me get this story. Now, her name is Sharon Nelson. She is the half-sister of Prince. Has alleged that the late legend's estate has been mismanaged by Commercial Bank and Trust. Now, according to Nelson, nearly 3 years after her brother's death, his estate will soon be bankrupt due to unsettled disputes between the institution and his heirs. Now, Nelson tells Billboard that the infighting between the family and Commercial, have resulted in thousands of court filings and racked up millions of dollars in legal fees without any money or real estate assets being distributed to the late artist's beneficiaries. Nelson tells the publications that if disputes are not settled, Prince's estate will be bankrupt by the end of the year. Man, oh God, what's your thoughts on that, man?
When I'm hearing you talk about this, man, it just the only thing I could say, don't know the particulars of that too much, but the only thing I could say is anybody listening to make sure that you have everything lined up before. I know it's nothing that people want, to plan out, but make sure you plan it out, because the key thing that I heard was the infighting in the family and people wanting this and wanting to get a hold of this and that. And, it can happen with any family, no matter how you think the love is or whatnot. When it's a lot of money involved, a lot of people can, when they don't come from a lot, they could, a lot of things could go wrong there. So it's just like, make sure that's planned out. I hope that it's not that bad where they really have to go bankrupt. Bankrupt doesn't always mean broke.
No, right.
But not to get that confused, but I just think it's a bad situation, man. I just wish it would have been better for him, in that situation. Everything would have been lined up.
This is sad, man. When you look at just the impact that man made and the power that he made in the music industry and owning his own masters. And if you own your own masters, he made some real fine coin. That man is a legend. Mm-hmm. And for them to be going through what they're going through, like you said, man, you just wish and you hope that people, and you can learn from this, just put their arrangements in better order. Yeah. So these kind of situations don't happen. They also say that his full sister, Tyke Nelson, his half brothers, Omar Baker, Alfred Jackson, John R. Nelson, and his half sister, Noreen Nelson, have racked up $3 million in legal fees over this shit that I'm sure is getting taken away from trust and all this kind of stuff. So,
yeah.
Man, is it a sad situation. Hopefully, like you said, bankruptcy does not necessarily mean broke. Hopefully he has some business ventures in line to where somebody's in somebody's ear to, let this go, do this, do that. But it's just real sad. We're seeing this happen to a number of our legends that are passing away. We've seen it happen to a lot of them. I mean, when you look back, who hasn't it happened to? We've seen now Aretha Franklin. Now she's going through something. Yeah. We always heard the rumors about Mike. Marvin went through it. Yeah. There was rumors about Whitney that went through it. So, I mean, it just seems like a terrible and disgusting.
I think what happens is, people, they're living and they getting the fame and stardom and money, and it's something they kind of not advised to do, and they think that they're probably going to live forever. Nothing's going to happen, and then it does, and then it's not set up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think it's best to get it done early, get it out the way, get things set up, because it'll be peace of mind because you already know this is what they wanted. Your stay or whatever, it's going to be clear what's going to be done, so it won't be no confusion. So everything is a lesson, man. Like, if just take a lesson out of everything. This has to be the lesson for people to learn that.
That's a fact.
Definitely, man. But yeah, man, you tuned into the Unset the Truth podcast with your brother Old God and the Sandman. Going in today on this Monday afternoon. Everybody listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. Now, Sandman, the other day we talked about the Bun B. Yeah. Pretty much he was in his crib. His wife was downstairs. Guy came in, put a pistol in her face, backed her in, and Bun B heard the commotion, pretty much got into a shootout with the guy, chased him and everything, told him to take his mask